want to choke yourself. So that's why it's so important that you do something consistent to prepare you, to get you in the mindset of a winner. And you do that with a pre-shot routine. I'm so happy because I love the pre-shot routine. It doesn't get covered in a lot of instructional things out there, but it's so important. The pre-shot routine is like a checklist to just get all the unforced errors out of the way so you can isolate your mind and your body to just making the ball. And it's so important. So I have a 4-step process. You make a decision. You picture the shot. You find your target. You shoot. You let the shot go. All right. So when I make a decision, I need to know and I need to be committed to what I'm going to do. I have the 12 ball here. I want to get positioned on the 8 ball. So I'm going to say, okay, I want to hit it medium speed, a little bit below center. I'm going to come 1, 2 rails, back out here for position on the 8 ball. Now, if you're not sure what to do, it doesn't matter. Decide anything. Be committed. It's better than, well, I don't know if I should do this or that, because you end up right in the middle and not accomplishing anything. Okay? So find that commitment, decide on what you're going to do, no matter what it is. The best decision is the firm decision. Okay, once you've made a decision, you have to picture the shot. And I don't mean just see your, okay, the 12 ball goes here, cue ball, you know, and you just kind of go, well, it's going to go around 2 rails. No, I want you to see that ball going in the hole. I want you to see that cue ball just contact the 12 ball, dance, come off, come right here, and feel the speed. See the whole speed, see everything. It's not just about, that's what makes this not mathematics. That's what makes it a sport, is because all that feeling is there. And if you think about basketball and that free throw, you're not thinking about the distance versus the arch, all that other stuff. You're actually going, yeah, okay, this is what it feels like. This is, yeah, that's what it's going to take. You have to feel that. You've made the decision. You've pictured the shot. Now you have to find your target. And I want you to get there, and I want you to decide, okay, where do I want my cue ball to contact that ball? And as soon as you think you have it, look deeper. Look deeper on where you need to hit that ball. Find a smaller target, and smaller. Demand the best, the absolute tightest target you can find, okay? I'm talking about there's only 1 point. So now you've found your target. You're going to walk around, because you've gone over there. You're going to walk around, and you're going to get yourself standing in front of the cue ball in line with that target. You lock your chin right in front of the shot, and now we do what's called the approach. I'm going to approach the ball. I'm going to approach the shot. And as I get down, I'm going to take a couple strokes. The length of my swing is the same length as my final stroke. Okay, that's the point. You're kind of getting that feel. And as you get down, you're going to take a couple strokes, and then you're going to stop. You're going to check your aim, your eyes back and forth, back and forth. You're checking your aim, you're checking everything, you're just feeling it. And as you take a couple strokes, you stop. Do I like it? No, it doesn't feel right. So I'm not going to just shoot it. I'm going to get up, start again. Zero back in on my target. Now remember, you're checking back and forth, but the last thing you should be looking at when you strike this ball is your target, and I mean the smallest point of that target you can find. Last thing you look at, the ball you're going to hit, the target, okay? When you're finally ready and you stop at that cue ball and it feels right, do I like it? Yes. Then you let the shot go. And at that point, you learn what pool is all about. Controlling that rock, it's awesome. Let's recap the pre-shot routine. Make a decision, picture the shot, find your target, let the shot go. Here I have a pretty easy shot on the 9 ball, so it's not hard to make the decision to pocket the 9 ball in the corner pocket. Next, I picture the shot from when it contacts the object ball all the way till the cue ball comes to a stop. Next, I find my target and I focus on the smallest point of contact that I can see. Notice I'm checking my aim during the practice strokes, and if I like my aim and my stroke, then it's time to trust myself and let the shot go. Now that you've learned the fundamentals of the grip, bridge, stance, and stroke, I want to show you some drills that'll help groove these concepts into your game. Yeah. This is the first drill that you should ever practice when we're talking about the stroke fundamentals. I want you to go up to a few balls. I've got 3 balls lined up here about 6 inches from the rail. And we're going to shoot each of these balls into the corner pocket one-handed using our shooting arm. This hand we're just going to move out of the way. And I want you to get down in your shooting position. And I want to make sure that the tip, when up at the cue ball, that your right hand, or your shooting arm, is perpendicular to the ground like we were talking about. I'm going to take some nice back swings. And this is the trick here. I'm not trying to find out whether or not you can make that ball. I'm trying to find out whether or not you can stroke this arm. This is just a bridge. It's just supposed to support. It's all about this stroking arm. And can you get the cue ball to come back slow, follow through? If this pendulum is doing its job, it's going to have a nice back swing, hit at the bottom of the swing, follow through. When this hand goes up, the tip must go down. So this is actually the way that it should end up. A lot of times people pull back too quickly. If you drop your elbow, if you grab the cue stick, it's all going to show right here. So again, I want you to focus on hitting the center of this ball. Take some nice back swings. Do I like it? If I do, then follow through. Did you see that? Look at where my tip ends up, right there. Nice follow through. And get back, chin lock, approach, get down, make sure my hand is perpendicular to the ground. Take some nice back swings. Stop. Follow through. Okay, there, I don't know if you caught that, but there was a little bit of a quiver because something was in the way. So I'm going to just move my body over to give a little bit more clearance. Here we go. Get down, move my body out a little bit. Still got that chin lock. Some nice back swings. Where's my tip need to be? Forward and in the cloth. Nice. Okay, so I want you to practice that over and over again. Keep shooting it. Try to shoot straight into the corner pocket, not on the side, because otherwise your cue stick wants to slide. And just make sure that this drill is not for pocketing the ball. This drill is to make sure that your stroke is slow, smooth all the way into the cloth. And if you can execute that, then you're ready for Dr. Spot up next. I want to introduce you to Dr. Spot. He's very important because he's always going to be able to tell you what's going on with your game. What I'm going to do is put a ball on the spot, and I'm going to shoot the 2 ball into that corner pocket in the same way that we just did with the one-handed drills, except now we're going to add the bridge. Now when I get down here, again, I'm not looking about whether or not I make the 2. Of course we're trying to make the 2, but the point of this drill is to follow through, shoot the shot just perfectly with that perfect stroke and see if you execute it properly. The way to do that is after you hit the ball, make sure that you freeze so you can see what's going on. Dr. Spot helps you figure out 3 things every time. When you shoot the ball, did I shoot it straight? Or did it go to the left, to the right? When I shot the ball, did the tip go down like it's supposed to? Or did it go up in the air because I dropped my elbow? And the last thing is, did I follow through or did I jab at the ball? Nice follow through is important. The tip should be down and it really lifts off your bridge. So let's take a look. I'm going to shoot the 2 ball in the corner pocket. And again, keeping in mind all the other things that we talked about, staying down. Well, I pocketed the 2 ball, but look at where my tip is. Something went wrong. The tip went over to the left. So let's see what I can do next. By going over to the left, it told me that I pulled my wrist out or I turned my wrist outward. So let's do this. I'm going to shoot the 5 ball. This time, I'm going to really focus on going straight and not to the left. Okay, what happened there? My tip is up and to the right. So evidently, I grabbed the cue stick, because if my cue stick was relaxed, it wouldn't go up in the air. Make sure you use that open bridge right there so you can see what's going on. Okay, that time I was dead straight. Everything looks great. I'm so excited, except wait a second. My tip is about 1/4 of an inch past the spot, so evidently didn't follow through. So, because I'm a quick learner, we're going to make sure we put it all together this time. That's what I'm talking about. So listen, make sure if you're ever having problems with your game, you always get back to the doctor, Dr. Spot. So this is where we get to learn about aiming. I've set up a straight-in shot, and I want you to understand that the aiming point is not always the same as the contact point. What I mean by that is, whenever you shoot a straight-in shot, you're looking to you're picturing a line from the object ball to the pocket. Then you want that cue ball to go through that line. This is what I will make believe is the ghost ball. We call it a ghost ball. It's an imaginary ball. We're picturing where we want the cue ball to end up in order to make this 3 ball. I've kind of lined up this red ball so that you know that the contact point is right at that number 3. So if you aim at this point, this ball will go in, right, every time? No, because depending on where the cue ball is, really what you want to be is you want to be where the ghost ball is. You want to be at the center of this point. Now, if you're straight on, this center and that point are all in the same line. But once you get deeper cuts, you'll see what I mean. I'm going to tap this ball in, and you're going to see a little spot on the table. And I want you to go through this exercise of visualization so you can understand the ghost ball method. When aiming, you want to imagine the cue ball going through the ghost ball to make the 3 ball in this corner pocket. So here, if you pierce through that spot, you're going to end up contacting the 3 ball, making it in this side pocket. Let's move over a bit. Let's get down right behind that cue ball. This looks like, if let's say I put this ball right here, it looks like about a half ball hit. Cue ball is going to go right here. Now look, you see if you were to aim for this spot right here, you would have ended up hitting right here and that ball wouldn't have gone in. You have to actually aim for this spot, not this spot. See how that's different? It's pretty neat. So I want you to just picture that for a second. Picture that cue ball just shooting right through that spot, and that 3 ball is going to go right in the side. Let's go to the next one. As it gets thinner, the distance between that spot and the contact point gets greater. Your margin of error is greater. It's just tougher to picture. So you really need to do this. Get down there and do this. Before you even hit a ball, get down there and picture that cue ball going in. Okay, here we get on the thinnest hit. It's a pretty thin cut. And you really want to see this a lot. Before you even hit a ball, just get used to visualizing the contact. The ghost ball method has the most value here because the distance between the center of that ghost ball and the actual contact point on the 3 ball is the greatest. So get better at visualizing this and you'll make more balls. This is a great practice drill for just learning to pocket balls. Let's start off with this shot. Again, I'm going to start off with the cue ball on the spot. And I'm going to look at this 5 ball into the corner pocket. Now I know that if I'm straight on, if I hit this ball straight on, let's pretend this is the ghost ball, that's going to take me right here. So I have to learn how much I have to move that cue ball over in order to line up for the pocket and make that. Okay? And when I get down and shoot it, it's really important that you learn to hit the balls softly. so softly that you can stay down and watch that cue ball connect with that 5 and watch where it hits and what happens. If you shoot too fast, you can't see anything. But let's say I hit it just like this. Okay, instead of going, ugh, you have to go, okay, what happened there? What did I do? I hit it a little bit too much to the right because I hit it soft enough to see that. Each of these are opportunities for you to get what you're doing. And that's really the attitude that you have to take. That's the winning attitude you have to take, to say, every time I miss or make, I'm learning something. If you spend too much time being aggravated, you're not going to learn. Let's go to the next one. It's a little bit tougher, a little bit more of a cut. And again, this is straight in. So how far do I aim out before I get straight? So I'm going to aim right over here, stay down, and look at the speed that I'm hitting it at. Okay, obviously I hit that ball too full, and I hit it soft enough to see it. So I want to make sure each one of these, don't forget the stroke, okay? You want to stay down, follow through. When I hit that ball, I'm going to go all the way in. I'm going to bring my hand all the way home right there. Okay, so I'm going to line up. I made a decision. I'm picturing the ball going in. I found my smallest possible target. I'm locking my chin. Getting down, approach. Taking a couple nice practice strokes. Watch my elbow on this. Everything's going to stay still but my forearm. Nice swing. Sweet. It's very important that you really hit things soft enough for you to pay attention to what's going on. Make it or miss it, I'm going to shoot straight. I'm going to throw that hand forward. Boom. All right, this is straight. How am I going to make this 4 ball? How far do I go? I've got to hit right over there. So I'm going to aim pretty thin. It's similar to that really tough cut on the 3 ball. I'm going to get down. I'm going to picture. Get down. Now, especially on the cut shots, we tend to move and jerk. You've got to know the tougher the shot, that much more important for you to go, okay, I don't care. I'm going to throw my stick forward. I'm going to trust that I've done the pre-shot routine, that I know the shooting system. I'm going to follow through with it. Decision, picture, target, shoot. I'm going to get down, stay down, follow through, okay? Nice. These 3 balls, something you should practice a lot. Next, we're going to practice rail shots. I'm going to put the cue ball in 3 different positions. And I'm going to pocket the 8 ball in that corner pocket. Now again, we're going to take it real slow, because when you go slow, you can actually see contact. You can see what's going on. So let me get down here. And I really want to make sure that I just keep my stroke perfect. If this goes perfect, I'm going to be real consistent with whatever error I make. It's going to be consistent. The nice thing about having a consistent stroke is your errors are consistent, so all you have to do is correct it. Okay, right away, what do you think here? I'm thinking, okay, I saw what I did. Now watch me correct it. That's what I'm thinking. That's what you need to be thinking when that happens. And if you didn't see what you did, then I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to slow it down. Let's set it back up. Okay, did you catch that? I did. I hit the ball too full, so now watch me correct it. Setting it back in the same place. I mark them. Whenever you're doing these practice drills, especially beginning, try to always mark what your drills are, and that way you can stay consistent and you can isolate the problem. So now, I hit it too thin, hit it too full. I think I've got it dead on now. All right. Do these at these different angles, and you'll really start to get comfortable with rail shots. Now the last thing I'd like to see you guys do is practice shots off the rail into the side pocket. Side pocket right here, boom. Get over here. All different angles. You're still trying to hit the same place, but it's different points of view. If you just get these 3 drills down, you've covered 90% of the shots out there. You wouldn't believe it. If the cue ball and the object ball are on the same half of the table, and the angle is less than 45 degrees, yes, I think you should make it. If you practice these and you make sure that you've got that stroke consistent, it shouldn't take long to where, yeah, you should expect to make those. And when you don't, you should expect to be positive about it and say, okay, how do I correct this? Now, if you get sharper than 45 degrees or further, don't be too hard on yourself. They're tough shots, but you'll get it. When you're playing pool, there's only 2 ways to make a shot: the easy way and the hard way. And the pros, they want the easy way. Now I know that's surprising because on ESPN you see us making all these incredible shots, really exciting, but you got to remember that our matches are like 2, 2.5, sometimes 3 hours long, and that gets cut down to less than an hour of TV coverage. So basically what stays on the table is all the amazing shots, right? But what separates the pros from everyone else is not the incredible shots we make. We want the easy ones. Every time we're playing position, we're not playing position for a bank shot, a cut shot, a jump shot. We want simple positioning. And it's a matter of who's making the most easy shots. Every time you shoot, you're like, oh, I should have had that one. How you win is by making the shots you're supposed to make, the easy shots, the simple shots. So let's start in with the straight in shot. I really want you to understand what's going on with the cue ball. So right now I'm going to focus on the cue ball. Let's make believe this stripe is my cue ball. I'm using a stripe because the stripe will help you see the rotation of the ball. If I hit the cue ball above center in a straight line, I'm going to shoot it straight up table and back, the cue ball will go forward. If I hit the cue ball below center in a straight line, the cue ball will go backwards, and you'll see it spinning backwards, and then eventually, through friction and time, it's going to start to go forward again. But as long as my cue ball contacts the ball while it's still going backward, you'll get backspin on the ball. Hope you caught that. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the stop shot. The stop shot is simply catching that moment when the cue ball has no backward or forward motion. And there's really a trick to that because a lot of that has to do with the distance between the cue ball and the object ball, and I'm going to show you why. Right here, let's start again with the top spin. I'm going to pocket the 9 ball. I'm going to start with the 9 ball being on the spot, straight line, and I'm going to try to get my cue ball to go forward into that same pocket. You can see that cue ball moving forward. As soon as it hit it, it had that impact, it wanted to stop, and then the top spin continued. If I hit the same shot with draw, now pay attention to the cue ball here. Trust me, I'm going to make the 14. Don't worry about that. Look at this 12. Watch what happens. In fact, I'm going to move this a little bit further so you can really see. Did you see that? Isn't that cool? All right. So you saw the top spin, you saw the back spin. Now let's focus on the stop shot. Stop shot's the most important shot in pool. And we're going to start straight on. If my 10 ball's on the spot and I'm shooting this stop shot correctly, after I hit this ball, the cue ball should stop right here, right next to that spot. Let's see if I can do it. I've got a couple of ways of doing that. I can either hit below center fairly hard speed, or I can hit it lower and lower, but that also means I have to hit it softer and softer. The softer I hit it, the sooner the backspin goes away. Watch. See how soft I hit it? So the backspin just disappeared very quickly. But if I was to hit it a lot harder, it would still be going backward by the time it got to the pocket. So I couldn't very well stop the ball at that speed. Now right over here, the cue ball is about, let's say, a little over a foot. I'm going to hit it just above center, medium speed. Okay? I was close. It's hard. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of concentration. Now watch this. If I was to actually try to stop this ball, I have to figure out how low and how hard do I have to hit it for the cue ball to be spinning backwards all the way up to the time it gets there and run out right at that point. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to master, that straight in ball. So just keep setting up the same shot. Use the stripe if you can. And just picture the cue ball being at different distances. You want to make sure, here, let's go over here. In this situation, if I was to hit below center, for sure it's going to still be going backward by the time I hit the ball. So actually, I could almost hit right at center, maybe a little bit below center, and just tap it, and look, it stopped. But if I was to hit it at that soft speed, by the time it got there, it would have picked up too much overspin. You gotta keep experimenting with that. But the more you do it, the more familiar you're gonna get, and it's just a lot of fun because again, now once you get the stop shot, everything's gonna get easier. The draw, the follow, and then you're gonna get into the tangent lines, and you just got a whole new world from there. It's really cool. So keep practicing, and it'll get better, I promise. Watch this follow shot on the 7 ball. Notice I'm hitting above center on the cue ball, which gives it topspin, causing the cue ball to roll forward after contact. This next shot I'm aiming below center on the cue ball, which creates backspin, drawing the cue ball back from the object ball. In this last shot on the 9 ball, I play a stop shot to ensure the cue ball does not follow the 9 ball into the pocket. Now remember, the most important shot in pool is the stop shot. Mastering the stop shot opens a whole world of position play, which we will cover later. So now I get to work with you on tangent lines. But I want to make sure that you know how to stop the ball at 3 different speeds before we even get into this. So if not, you need to stop, go back, learn how to make a stop shot. Again, right here is when you can get your cue ball to stop in its tracks. The cool thing about stop shots is you always know where the cue ball is going to go. It's going to stay right here. You have to be able to do it at 3 different speeds. So right now, when I shoot this ball on the side at an angle, again, I have to be able to shoot it with a stop shot stroke. And the cue ball is going to go, in this case, 90 degrees, which is right around here. Little margin for error because of this pocket. I can actually shoot it almost anywhere over here.